Okay, we're back. So, should have got something like this. Okay, after make config, make install. I meant. Okay, and let's keep going. So make and install, make install. Clear. And let's say we have to create a link from link symbolic GCC. We say tools. We have to link GCC to tools. Bin CC. Okay. And here we have to perform another sanity check. So let's not avoid this. Let's say main. And echo that into dummy.c. Okay. And cc dummy.c. Good. No output right there. That's fine. We say elf, read elf, l, a.out. I'm going to grep for tools. Okay, good deal. So you got something like that, right? And if you didn't get any output, try to do it again, right? And that's that. So now we can say remove verbose dummy.c and a.out. We're going to go up. We're going to say remove GCC build GCC 472. Okay, good deal. Now while that's going away, I'm going to go over here. Actually, let me pull up another one. I'm going to go over here, and my computer likes to fall asleep on me, and I have to log back in, so I don't want to do that anymore. I want to fix that. Look at this dinosaur. Terrible. Whatever happened to Linux when it could run on 2 gigs of RAM, right? What the heck? I don't like that idea at all. Brightness and lock. I'm not going to lock the screen, and I want to turn this off to never, okay? And I don't want to require my password. And I'm not going to dim the brightness because I have I'm plugged in, so on my laptop, so I'm okay. But yeah, that's terrible, isn't it? Free memory. Oh, now it's now it's going to act right, but usually it dips down a lot worse than that. A lot worse than that. It's not only because of compiling either, but just Ubuntu itself. Heavy, laborious. I don't know. Bought this machine 2 years ago, and I ran 1010 on it with not even 800 megabytes of constant use or constant draw on it. And I don't know. Enough about them. Let's extract TCL now. We're on section 5.10. Okay. And TCL is a tool command language. It contains a tool command language, but we need this for tests and whatnot, I do believe. So let's say we have to then cd into Unix. We have to run .configure. Okay. Prefix equals tools. Okay. And we can do make and make install. Right here, see, is a test here. Okay. Now we can compile it with make, but it says compilation is not complete. As discussed earlier, running test suite is not mandatory for temporary tools. To run the test suite anyway, do that. Okay. But as it says here, the TCL test suite may experience failures under certain host conditions that are not fully understood. Therefore, test suite failures are not surprising, blah blah blah, and are not considered critical. So we're not going to do anything that's not critical, because it could put you in it could lead you in the wrong direction, and they're not needed right now. Make install. Okay, and this should only be 0.4 SBUs. It's not even 2 minutes. or so like that. Okay, maybe even quicker because I think the SBUs wrap up the build time or the test time too. So, which we're not running a test, so it should be a little bit quicker than 2 minutes. And it's a good time from time to time also, a good thing from time to time to check your memory and see how free you are, okay? I usually do something like while one do, I'll do a little script or something. Say while one do, echo, let's echo the output of free dash m, and we'll cut it apart and grep out. Let's say grep out mem, okay? And let's say sleep, sleep one, clear the screen, done. Max count, what? Free m grep. That doesn't make any sense. Say echo free m, done. No. Free m, how about a backtick here? And sleep. Sleep one, done. Okay. And I can make that a little bit better by saying clear, maybe. Okay. And let me organize that a little bit by saying something like clear, and I want to grep for grep I mem. Not too bad. Let me go back over here and actually, we're not even done. So, I say grep by mem or something like that, and I can see my memory kind of as it's going by, but that's just too much. How about tail 2 or something? Grep memory. Let me throw that inside of this here. Let me throw that inside of here. Okay, there we go. So, you could do something like that. Even if you want to make it a little bit more specific, we could say echo. We can also echo out something like, we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4 total. Okay, and we'll say used, and then we'll say free. Okay, so there you go. Okay, so it separates your memory uses, your total memory, your used memory, and your free. Okay, so you can even let that run in like a little different window there, so you can see if how bad the draw is on your system. TCL's wrapping up. I can feel it. But if you are going to drop caches, be careful, and be careful where you drop them. Okay. I wouldn't do it in the middle of compiling something. Okay. Even if your memory is about to tank, I would not do it in the middle of compiling something, or maybe even on a test. Okay. So it's up to you. I'm not going to drop any caches in this tutorial. Shouldn't have to. I got 2 gigs of RAM. I mean, come on, right? I understand, compiling is very labor intensive on the CPU and RAM and everything else like that. I understand it's very bad on resources, but man, I just don't get it. I don't get it. That's just too much. Too much for me. Try extra tab. Like I said, I mean, it's just OSs are just getting so heavy now. It's not technology. It's more bloat and carelessness, I think. I mean, it doesn't need to be that big. Like this operating system, Ubuntu's like, you can't even run Ubuntu sufficiently anymore on 2 gigs of RAM. that's right there, and it's terrible. 2 years ago when I bought this computer, it was just perfect, but you can't even do that anymore. On a 1010, and then oh my god. So it's like, what are they doing here? It doesn't make any sense. So let's say, alright, you may experience that from time to time where nothing happens. Don't get freaked out about it, okay? Try not to hit enter keys too much. Your screen didn't die or anything else like that. Just maybe hit like a down key or something. The down arrow to kind of, I don't know, you know what I mean? But sometimes things will happen like that where it just seems to get stuck. It's really cranking away back there. Don't get too fearful of that, especially on the tests. Don't get too fearful. Okay? No errors. No errors. We are good to go. Okay, so according to documentation, we did make and make install. Now we got to say something like change mod for BOS U and A. Say tools lib TCL 8.60 or 8.6.SL. Okay, and we have to say make install private headers. Make install private headers. Okay, good. And let's say link symbolic TCL SH 8.6. Link that to tools bin TCL SH. Good deal. Okay, so TCL is done. And we can move on to expect. So get back out twice. Okay. We say remove TCL. And let's say tar xvf expect. Okay. cd into expect. Clear. And we're going to say we have to copy first. We have to copy for BOS. We have to copy configure. We want to copy configure to comma.orig. Okay. And we want to say sed as set up our delimiters as colons. We're going to say replace user local bin with bin. So let's say replace user local bin with bin. Okay. And configure .orig into configure script. Good. And let's run it. So we'll say configure prefix equals tools. I want to skip a new line here. I want to say with TCL is equal to tools lib. And let's say with TCL include equals tools include. Check it. Configure prefix equals tools with TCL equals tools lib, and with TCL equals tools include. Good. Okay, good deal. If anybody can answer me why gnats or mosquitoes like to fly up your nose, let me know. The heat signature, like what's going on with that? What's going on with that? It makes no sense. I mean, I love candy too, but I'm not gonna swim in a bowl of chocolate. Actually, I would swim in a bowl of chocolate. Mosquitoes are right we're going to say make and no make install, okay? Just say make. Because the next command we have to issue is make scripts equals nothing install. Expect. Next should be deja GNU. And we'll say clear. Make scripts. Scripts equals blank install. Okay, done. Good deal. So Control A, Control Tab. Expect is over with, and let's get out of that. I'm going to remove expect. I'm going to say tar xpf deja GNU. CD in deja GNU. Okay. Good. Good. Deja GNU. And from here we can say configure prefix equals tools. Okay. And no make, just make install. Make install. Clear. And that's it. Okay. Let's go back up. Say remove deja GNU. Tar xpf. Let's unpack. Check 099. Okay. CD into check. And we have to say .run configure prefix equals tools. Make, and we can say make install. Okay. As you can see here now, we just flew through like 3-4 packages, and you can see what I'm saying about how the other ones are a little bit more complicated. But as soon as we hit this area here, it starts to loosen up pretty good. Okay. So make and make install. I bet you I just screwed that up. I did not screw it up. I just forgot if I didn't have to run a make install or not. That's got me thinking today. No, I didn't. Okay. Did I mess with these? I don't know. Okay, be paranoid a little bit. Okay. So down here it says here, could not read symbols, blah blah blah. Exit status 1. Okay. That's what we got for check. Now, I do remember some type of errors popping up for check and everything else like that. I'm not really worried about that right yet. Still young into the operating system. Let's keep going and see if we run into any fatal errors. Okay? And we can go from there. Okay? But I'm not going to let this slow me down. We're just going to continue. And until we can't go anymore, and then we'll be okay. So, make and make install. Have to remove check and 099. Okay, and we'll say tar xpf in curses. Okay, and cd into in curses. And like I said though, with that error up there, not getting any errors is kind of uncommon, okay? Especially so new into the system and so deep into the system, okay? But it could issue just errors, saying that, if they're not fatal errors, then we can continue to build. But when we get errors with, say, glibc or gcc where we can't continue to build anymore, well, then that's a serious problem. But stuff like check, well, if we can push through that error, let's see what happens the next time when we go to build it. Okay, you know what I mean? So it's not like a core utility or anything. So let's say configure prefix equals tools and n curses. I'm going to say with shared, okay, without debug, without ADA, enable overwrite. Alright, without debug, without ADA, enable overwrite, with shared, gotcha, good. Okay, Control A, Control Tab, and pull this down a little bit. Say make, and we can do a make install after that. Okay, but as far as check goes, it would be like check is a unit testing framework for C. You know what I mean? So it's not actually testing anything yet, but it can be kind of finicky to actually what it does or what it's going to pick up and call an error. So let's say make install. We can do that. Make install. Okay. And let's say after that we can remove that there. I'm looking on time. I don't know. What is 1300? Just an idiot. What is 1300 divided by 60? 21 minutes. Okay, I'm 21 minutes in. Hey man, just gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. So make install and incurses. Incurses 5 SBUs, 2.5 minutes. 0.5 SBUs at 2.5 minutes for me. I'm gonna run bash and then I think I'm gonna call the video. Okay. And I'll pick that one up after that. But the key is I'm still stuck on the check error. Okay. And like I said, I'm pretty sure I got that error a few different times. Okay. But and with any errors, as long as they're not debilitating, fatal, where you cannot go on to the next step, try to push through them, okay? And sometimes you may have to repack your sources and extract new sources, or who could have known why you got that error? It could have been a kernel message at the time from your host, who knows, okay? But don't be, just, that's too big of a word for me to use right now. Don't be thrown off by getting little errors here or there, okay? As long as you can push through them, that's the only thing that matters, okay? And as long as they don't prove fatal, you know, that's okay. Because I used to look at mine and say, oh my god, I got an error here, what do I do? You know, and after Googling like a madman for it, couldn't find any remedy for it, or the remedy was something I just couldn't understand anyway, so I said, let me just go ahead and keep going and see what happens. And the machine worked. So, you know. Then there's been other errors too, where I was like, oh, I'm just going to ignore that error. And about 2 hours down the road, you know, fatal crash, says boom, bow, on fire. Stuff like that happens. But with check, not so much. Be okay. Be okay. Come on, in curses. Only Strombolis. What's coming up now? Got that feeling. What's my memory looking like? 390? Yeah. Another thing about LFS too. I didn't check how much usage the memory was on the machine, but I think it's like, what is 6.8? I don't know, but I know with 6.3 I was only running like 25 megabytes used. It's phenomenal. And with like 7.3, I'm gonna say, I don't know. I don't know, I didn't check. But, okay, so we say make install, and curses should be done, okay? And let's go to bash. So we say remove and curses. Clear, tar, xvf, we want to give bash. Okay, cd into bash, cd into bash, 4.2, and we have to set up a patch. So we'll say patch np1-i, and we have to set up a bash fixes 11 patch. And we have to say .run configure prefix equals tools is out bash memory allocation. Okay. We have to say make install. Nothing else. Completion not complete. As discussed earlier, running test suite is not mandatory for temporary tools here in the chapter. Okay? So don't worry about the test suite. I'm going to issue make install, and then I'm going to cut the video. Don't forget to link bash to tools bin sh. It's very important. Okay. And hot too. My computer is steaming hot. It's not because I'm compiling like a ton of packages here. Just, oh my god. Even my Mint machine, I'm not happy with my Mint at all. It's just hot. I go to YouTube and I got a VGA port on the side. It burns my hand. I put a fan on it. I mean, really, do I have to do all this? It's Linux. This is Linux. It's not Windows. Why do I have to do this? So we're going to say configure, and now we can say make install. Okay, so let that cook off, and I'm going to cut the video here. Catch you guys in the next one.